5G has been a disappointment so far, but T-Mobile is set to launch nationwide coverage on Friday.
We break down what this all means for you. Stick around for your daily charge.
Good morning and welcome to the Daily Charge. It's Monday, December 2nd. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Alfred Ng.
And here are today's headlines. T-Mobile will launch its so-called low-band 5G network on Friday, offering consumers nationwide coverage for the first time. This flavor of 5G has much better range, but the speeds aren't stellar. The carrier estimates you'll get about a 20% speed boost on average. You also need one of two new compatible devices, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G and the OnePlus 710 Pro 5G McLaren. Both available for pre-order today, and both are a mouthful. But they don't come cheap. The Note 10 costs $1,300, while the OnePlus costs $900. Alfred, are you saving your pennies for 5G?
What is the rush? Like, just roll it out when it's ready. Don't give me this like fake low band version of it or whatever where I can only get it on two phones. I don't need it right now. My internet's pretty fast already as is. I don't stop giving me this fake 5G. Just, I can wait, all right? I don't understand this.
Well, for one, this is real 5G. This is not the fake 5G that AT&T was pushing.
Okay.
So it's not 5GE. But to your point, I think that's for most consumers, they should wait. They should stick around. I don't think they should buy these phones. But these carriers do need to roll these networks out. They need to get them out physically. They need to get basically people willing to test them. Or else these networks, the next version of the networks that are more palatable for mainstream consumers aren't going to get rolled out. So it's the same deal with 5G for the rest of the year. As for this year, it was basically, if you were trying it out, you're probably a guinea pig for.
So this isn't like a YouTube commenters syndrome where they're like, oh, they all want to be first for like the carriers or.
No. I mean, this is actually like you'll get legit coverage. This is different from the previous launches, which have basically been like, if you get service here and walk 20 feet, you won't get service anymore. You'll actually get coverage everywhere. It just won't be as fast.
Yeah, but it's only like 20% faster, right?
20% faster, which is not a huge bump at all.
That's not the 5G I was promised.
That is not the 5G that we were all promised. No, but it's a start. And at least we're getting coverage, which is more than we could say about some of the deployments that have come out recently.
I suppose 4.2G doesn't sound as exciting.
4.5G, yeah. 4.2 is underselling
it's
a little
20%
bit.
more. That's what 0.2 would be.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Next up, Black Friday was another monster sales day, buoyed by things like Apple laptops, Samsung TVs, and the Nintendo Switch. Black Friday turned out to be the second largest online sales day ever, and likely will be topped today on Cyber Monday. Today, total online holiday sales will likely hit $143.7 billion, according to Adobe. That's up 14.1% from last year. Alfred, where were you doing your Black Friday shopping?
Salvation Army.
Which actually had deals.
Yeah,
right?
Salvation Army was also half off, and I bought like two jackets that I also didn't need, which in the spirit of Black Friday of just buying stuff that you don't need.
There you go. I bought a bunch of stuff, probably what I didn't need, but I still bought it online though. I didn't go anywhere physical for shopping.
You absolutely should not.
Yeah.
No. I mean, support local business. You should do that for sure.
But you shouldn't go to a mall.
Yeah, go to a
I tried going near a mall. Just getting near it was depressing and horrifying.
Yeah, surprisingly, even the Salvation Army was packed. They didn't let me camp outside of it, unfortunately. But when I got there,
when did the doors open?
I actually know this off the top of my head that like Salvation Army's open at 10 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. So
there you go.
That's like I go there like pretty frequently. But yeah, I mean, this was different because it was Black Friday, so they closed at 5 p.m. that day. Also, it was upstate New York, so it might have been like different hours there, but most of them closed by 7 p.m.
Okay. Lastly, Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan were on CBS this morning, where he once again defended Facebook's stance on letting politicians run ads with lies in them. He also touched upon that secret dinner with President Donald Trump, but in a real awkward exchange with Gayle King, didn't offer any details.
It's surprising that he's still sticking to this point, because this is a talking point he's talked about for a while now, where we should let politicians run, whatever they want to run, and
we should let the people
decide it, because that's essentially what happened in 2016. What but not politicians running it. You know, it's weird that they'll take down lies if it's posted by a nation state or if it's posted by, you know, people pretending to be somebody else, or a normal advertisement. But in a political ad, somehow that seems to be okay, where, you know, other content they'll say, you know, this is clearly a lie, we're not going to let you advertise off of this. But when a politician happens to it, we'll let people decide that.
And it's important to note that, you know, Twitter has already banned political ads.
Yeah.
You know, other companies have taken action. There's mounting pressure on Facebook at this point to figure out or do something about it.
I mean, there's a lot of concern around, you know, taking down political ads in general. Like when Twitter did it, I mean, obviously people saw that as a response to Facebook's stance, but it did bring up some issues around the fact that, you know, if you take down all political ads or if you don't accept any political ads, then, you know, you run into the issue of what if I want to run an ad on climate change, or what if I want to run an ad on, you know, abortion rights or something like that. That's a political topic, and now I can't like get my view on that out there. But I mean, there's a whole lot of different ways to do it. I think Twitter took the whole stance of we're just going to get rid of it all. Facebook has been open to, you know, saying we're not going to allow for political targeting for something like that and for political ads anymore. But yeah, it's a very nuanced issue. And I mean, one of the first things they could start doing is at least fact checking them for that matter.
Yep. I think that's kind of the issue, is that maybe it's too difficult to get those facts checked constantly.
Yeah, it's almost like a multi-billion-dollar company has like some sort of responsibility to the truth, and maybe should be investing some of those resources into it.
Maybe. That's a silly thought, but maybe.
Yeah.
So as always, we want to know what your takeaway is on these topics. Are you anxious for 5G? Did you score any great Black Friday deals or endure any nightmares? And what's your position on political ads on social media? Sound off in the chat. We'll fish out the best questions to keep the conversation going. Brian, what do we got?
Wait, I was distracted. Sorry, I'm still getting caught up on The Mandalorian. Actually, on that note, before we get started, I have a Star Wars joke. What did Yoda say when he found his footage finally got converted to 4K?
What did he say?
HD, am I?
I don't know why. That's a good dad joke.
We're just going to hold on Alfred's reaction face here for a second.
That's a good dad joke.
Yeah, I thought so. So as far as questions and comments, to keep the conversation going, everybody's still kind of cracking down and staying busy on Cyber Monday. But we do have some good comments coming in. One from Alex on Twitter. He does point out that the rumors have said that 5G isn't going to be coming until late 2020 or early 2021. Has this kind of altered that timeline? Are we going to see this sooner than originally anticipated?
So, I mean, it really depends on your definition of when 5G comes. If 5G coming to you in a real way, it is, I mean, technically it is launching nationwide on Friday for T-Mobile at least. We've had 5G networks launched by some of the other carriers, including T-Mobile, but they've been in like very tiny hotspots around a couple of select cities. This is sort of the first time you'll be able to get a form of 5G, but to Alfred's point, it's like it's just a 20% bump, so it's not a huge boost. Although T-Mobile argues that's a nationwide average, so maybe you'll get more peaks in bigger cities or whatever. It all averages out.
But also, like, how good is T-Mobile's coverage nationwide to begin with? Just because I'm only saying this because I was upstate recently and like
it's not great.
Yeah, in a normal area, I like did not get any connection outside.
So realistically speaking, if you don't have great T-Mobile coverage now, 5G is not going to improve that at all. So it's nationwide to a point.
With an asterisk.
The definition of nationwide coverage, by the way, is very loose when it comes to these carriers. There are huge pockets where there's just no coverage by any of these carriers, right? And so, you know, it's sort of, they kind of fall, I think, the FCC definitions, and those are always fairly loose and open to interpretation.
Props to everybody for making it in today. We're having a bit of weather here in New York. Alfred, you were upstate this weekend. I was upstate this weekend. I spent 8.5 hours on a bus to get here today. So applause for all of us just to make it in during the winter maelstrom. So, Roger, maybe this would be a good one to direct right at you. With the departure of John Legere, what impact do you think this is going to have on 5G development going forward?
Very little. I mean, John leaving, I think it was already kind of part of the plan. And they have their chief technology officer, Neville Ray, has been just kind of amazing in terms of how quickly he's been able to roll out first 4G, back when 4G was still a thing, and now 5G. So I don't think any of the plans are going to change. You know, a CEO is often the face of a company, but they don't necessarily have a huge material impact on the execution of some of the plans. They may set the plans, but it's really up to some of the lieutenants. And Neville's one of the best in the business when it comes to network upgrades.
How am I going to know that 5G is available if John Ledger isn't promoting 20 tweets a day telling me to follow him?
You won't, I guess.
You're
right. I don't know. Figure if you are the type of person to spend $1,300 on a 5G phone, you'll know. You'll have other ways.
Switching gears over to Facebook and general social media, political ad points online these days. Timothy asks, wonder what is the boiling point for Facebook, considering they've been so under the microscope lately. Is there any major concern? I didn't watch this exchange until I fed it in for B-roll here for the show. What exactly happened between Zuck and Gale?
I mean, if you watch the interview, he basically, she asked him, did President Trump try to lobby you during this secret dinner that you had? And Zuckerberg, ironically enough, decides to talk about how he wants to respect the privacy of that conversation. Which, as you all know, Facebook is extremely well on privacy and, politics. So
sure.
Great point from Zuckerberg there. But yeah, he the whole thing, like when the news broke from NBC News that Zuckerberg had this dinner with President Trump, Facebook put out a statement that was kind of tongue in cheek. That was basically like, yeah, like he's the CEO of a really powerful company. Of course he has dinner with the president. We're not going to talk about what's going on there.
Right.
But yeah, as far as your question about the boiling point goes, it's boiling.
I feel like we're past that.
We've been boiling for a while now.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't like Facebook is a private company. And, if you've seen with all these issues that have happened with it over the last 2 years, they don't really make changes based off of like public opinion or anything like that. It's kind of just down to what Zuckerberg wants to do, considering he has so much of a stake in the company. And, he has done an about face on a lot of things. I think back to the 2016 presidential election when he basically responded saying it's crazy that,
he scoffed at the notion.
Yeah, it's crazy that fake news on social media helped influence the election in any way. Then, congressional hearing after congressional hearing happens, and all of a sudden Facebook decides, we're going to take a more proactive stance on this. So it's very possible that one day, Zuckerberg will then decide, we don't want to let politicians like lie in ads anymore. But again, this is not a shareholders thing. This is not a multiple people, executives at Facebook thing. People at Facebook have protested this, like their own employees have spoken out against this, and this policy has not changed, but it really just comes down to Mr. Zuckerberg.
And keep in mind, it's a private company. It's not like the government can compel Facebook to do this.
Was their first real misstep, at least in this very specific instance, having a secret meeting? Why did it need to be secret? Why couldn't this just be on Front Street and just, here's transparency. This world thrives on transparency now. Why are they trying to duck under the radar?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely part of the issue there. That people announce White House meetings all the time. Like you're supposed to sign in with the FBI and all this stuff when you visit the White House. And a lot like Tim Cook meets with Trump frequently, as does like Zuckerberg has met with Trump before, and those have been announced.
Yeah, we know about these meetings.
Yeah, so the context of this dinner, it's just I don't know why it was kept a secret. Like Facebook didn't make an announcement about it. The White House didn't make an announcement about it. Like NBC News reported it, and then they make this statement as if it's this happens all the time. Well, then if it does, you could have announced it.
Right.
How exactly is Facebook still a private company when they're open traded on the market?
Well, no. I mean, they're publicly traded, but that doesn't mean they're not a private company. And keep in mind that the way these public companies work, I mean, yes, it's sort of run by shareholder vote, but Mark Zuckerberg owns like a majority of the controlling shares. So basically what he wants is what he gets with his company.
And I think when we say public versus private companies, public meaning like government owned.
Yeah.
Like
so
Facebook is not owned by the
keep
government.
that in mind. Publicly traded doesn't mean that it's a public company. It just publicly traded means there are shareholders who can buy into it. But it's not part of like the government or anything like that.
Thank you for the clarification. Let's switch back over to 5G chat. We've got Professor Lauren on Twitter saying, based on the low band frequency, this means we're going to be getting at least 600 megahertz here in more places. They say they've turned it on around here just north of Philly, but I'm still on band 4, but still getting decent coverage, so really not complaining yet. Farming this out to our audience, what have you seen so far? Where is your what band are you relying on? And have we seen anything? We haven't seen any of that here in New York yet, right?
No, it's here. It's live.
It is? Okay. What
keep-
other markets are live?
Well, like I said, it's most of the major markets. It's nationwide, so generally every major city should have it. Keep in mind, again, the phones that you have right now do not have access to this new network. You would need to buy the Note 10 Plus 5G or the OnePlus 710 Pro 5G. These names are terrible. But you'd have to buy one of these new phones to tap into the new network. Theoretically, though, if more people get onto the 5G network, that 4G network that your phones are running on right now will probably get a little bit more capacity. We'll see a little bit more of a speed boost.
I guess with the remaining time we got left, we'll chat a little bit about Cyber Monday. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the cheapskate back on here again, Rick Broida, in a hurry, but
he's in the middle of finding our deals.
he is.
Cyber Warrior.
What have we seen so far? What's on the hot button today?
You know what? A lot of the deals, I was talking with John Falcone, who's our other deals guru, and a lot of the deals that you saw on Black Friday are the same deals that are showing up on Cyber Monday. So, this is sort of a second chance or second opportunity if you were like either, if you were too busy to deal with Black Friday shopping, or if you were hedging on or waffling on a deal on Nintendo Switch. Those same deals are back on Cyber Monday. So
Yeah, and we could do a few Cyber Monday deals as well. If you want to buy one of these amazing daily charge stickers, my Venmo is at John Legend.
It really is.
These usually sell for $30, but I can give these to you because it's Cyber Monday. I can sell this to you for $5 today. So just Venmo me $5. It's at John Legend, and we will ship out one of these stickers to you.
Oh God!
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Absolutely don't do that.
Why did you bait them for that?
They will absolutely send you money. Don't send money to him.
It's Cyber Monday. These are $30 usually, so...
Let's remind everybody that I'm the gatekeeper here, and I'm the one who has all the merch made, so Alfred would be just skimming off the top. Please don't send him money.
Please don't send Alfred money. He doesn't need it.
I actually found...
He's good.
I don't know what you guys got so far, but if we're just kind of riffing here, I actually got a good deal on a new laptop. I was going back and forth between a Dell XPS and just sticking with MacBook, and I was keeping an eye on both, and I saw MacBook Pro... 13-inch, 2.9 gigahertz, 256 gig SSD drop below $1,000, so I scooped that up in a hurry. And don't at me. I like my MacBook. I'm lazy, and that's where all my software relies. So I'm just gonna do a quick and easy transfer. Did you guys get any good deals so far?
I bought like a 2-pound Chromebook this morning. I'd been looking at it for like months. I'm not happy with myself about it because this is like the 5th Chromebook I have in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I gave away 2 of them for like my parents so they don't get viruses anymore.
Oh, that's nice.
And then I had a recent one, but it was like 3 pounds, and I didn't like carrying it during Thanksgiving weekend. So this one's like 2 pounds. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. It was like 40% off.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got a new Echo Dot, and just some random stuff. I got like a couple of Switch games on sale.
Did you get Pokemon?
I did not get Pokemon. That was not on sale yet.
Are you planning on getting Pokemon?
I'm on the fence about that.
Can you get Sword if you do?
Do you have Shield?
Yeah, so we can like trade.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool.
All right,
cool.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Commander Trium is asking if we have any further information on that ousted Huawei exec, or not ousted. Sorry,
you mean the one that was imprisoned?
Well, since they're pushing 5G in Canada right now,
CFO.
Any more info on what's developing over at Huawei?
Wait, sorry, could you repeat the question?
The question is, any further news on that Huawei exec? They're pushing a 5G offering here in Canada.
I don't have any updates on that. I know Huawei's been pushing 5G. I don't know what Canada's stance is right now, in terms of taking or using 5G equipment from Huawei, but yeah, sorry. I don't have an update.
Okay. I mean, as far as the rollout, when will Canada expect 5G in the timeline?
I don't know. I don't follow the Canadian market all that closely. This is Rogers and I can't remember the other one, Bell Canada. I feel like they are rolling it out now, but I don't know for sure.
Got it. Well, I guess that's probably as good a time as any to wrap things up. Sorry we had a bit of a late start today. Again, just kind of competing with weather and schedules. But thanks for everyone for sticking with us. And we'll be back at normal time again tomorrow. As we kind of wind down the year, we may do some more fun experiments as we get closer to the end of the year and news kind of slows down with any luck. But yeah, then, of course, we've got CES coming up at the beginning of January, where we're going to be at the stage every single day to kick off the day of coverage. So make sure you lovely regular listeners get a place in line for those live streams because they are going to be crowded as hell. But we look forward to seeing you there. And if you have anything that you want us to keep an eye out for at CES, go ahead and bait us in the chat, in the comments, tweet at us. We're curious about what you're curious about, and we'll do our best to pursue those while we're on the floor in Las Vegas. In the meantime, though, everybody have a terrific day. And Roger.
Yep. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you can join us here live weekday mornings. If you have the chance, check out the links below to learn more about today's topics. Also, go subscribe to our podcast that are on every platform ever. For The Daily Charge, I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Alfred Ng.
Thanks for joining us.
Can't get enough? Check out The Daily Supercharge, our extended post show with special features, audience Q&A, and in-depth reviews. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.